Let's stay with the 2026 budget statement. We've been joined via Zoom by Member of Parliament for Ekumfi, Dr. Othniel Ekokwenu, to help us digest the budget a bit more. Grateful to you, sir, for your time here on the Channel One newsroom. First of all, the budget was presented on Thursday. What is your initial thinking about this budget that's been presented by the Finance Minister?
Good evening, and thank you very much for having me. I think the budget that was presented by the finance minister, for me, it's one of a budget that inspires hope in the people. And of course, the reason why I say that is every budget is expected to respond to the needs of a country. And if you look at the tenets of the budget that was presented, literally every sector of the economy was tackled head on. And I believe that coming from the background of the 2025 budget, where he indicated his desire and his effort to basically correct the macros in the country, today we can clearly see where the macros are. The country has turned the corner quite well, and we're on a path of recovery. In the past, there was discussion around macroeconomic issues in terms of all the indicators. Today, the story has changed. The macros are positive, and it's time to translate those gains we have made on the macros into the micro, where the citizens begin to benefit from the impact of this hard work that the minister has done. So for me, if I look at the tenets and the contents of the budget, it only inspires hope. And I believe that going forward, we will see a lot of significant benefits to the people of Ghana and also to everyone on the whole.
Honorable, let's look at some of the critical issues facing this country. For example, unemployment. We know that some people have attributed the very high unemployment rates among the youth for the high numbers of persons who are interested in joining, say, the military, leading to the disaster that we saw at Elwak. How does this budget address the concerns of unemployment?
Well, thank you very much once again. This budget, as it stands, pointed to the creation of about 800,000 jobs, as it were, from various sectors. I mean, if you look at the discussion around the big push, it's expected that all these road constructions that will be done would create quite a sizable amount of jobs for our teeming youth. But what for me is more even interesting is on the agricultural sector. I mean, clearly, if you look at the informal sector, the agricultural sector continues to be the heartbeat of Ghana's economy. Today, if you look at the impact of food prices, which has seen a growth of about 2.9% to 6%, and the investment that government looks to put into the agricultural sector, you can see clearly that they have underscored the need for us to develop agriculture to a point where our teeming youth who are literally working in that sector will have hope in order to be able to live a life which is worthy. Now, why do I say so? In this budget, you can clearly see that government has seen, for instance, the palm plantations that Ghana as a country imports about 200 million tons of oil palm into this country. And for a record, Ghana was one of the countries that started planting palm in this country. But for some reason, our approach towards it has not really helped us. And that is why government has seen a reason to get a loan of $500 million in cedi equivalent, basically as a fund to help the youth to go into agriculture and also basically into power. I, as an MP in Ekumfi, for the most of the last 2 months, have even donated even seedlings up to 35,000 to my people because I'm working in tandem with that vision of government so that by the time the realization of this dream happens, my people basically will benefit from it. Beyond that, I mean, we have learned from a large time growing up how Ghana's farming has basically been on a subsistence scale. Today, we are talking about modernizing it. That's why you see in the budget that the government is talking about farming centers, and has also showed us the kind of equipment that they are looking to put in these farming centers to help farmers to basically do larger scale farming. And to a large extent, when these things happen, to translate into the building of factories, agro-processing, and also the processing of our goods for exports. Again, if you look at the buffer stock, which has had issues in recent times, government has made it clear that it's also going to put about 200 million to buy produce from farmers. And all these things basically will help the farming industry to be able to grow. And so far, from what we have seen, from a growth of 2.9 to 6%, you can clearly see that it will create quite a sizable amount of jobs, especially in that sector. And for me, I think that all these decisions that government has taken, especially in the agricultural sector, for me, gives me a lot of comfort, because looking at my own constituency, farming remains a very important factor in our socio-economic lives.
Okay.
Therefore, if government is doing that for us, for me, I think it's one thing that I really want to commend government. And I believe that there should be more investment into the agricultural sector, because today it's been a big influence on our inflation, on our exchange rate, and literally on the producer price of everything in Ghana. So for me, the agricultural side of things remains key for me.
All right. Honorable, finally, before you go, your colleagues on the opposite side, they describe this budget as a galamsey budget. I mean, also, they say the economic growth we're witnessing is based off the foundations built by the Akufo-Addo government. Quickly, your thoughts before you go.
Well, it's not for me to say, but the reality is there for everybody to check. I mean, if you leave an economy that left inflation around 23%, seen a high of about 54%, an exchange rate which was touted one of the worst we've seen today is one of the best, and all the indicators, I mean, interest rates touching from 28%, today we are doing 10.9. It's not for me to say. It's a reality that is on the ground. Everybody sees the hard work that this finance minister and President Mahama have put in trying to get this economy to rebound. And I believe that they have set the tone for greater works going into 2026. And I believe that every Ghanaian who cares about this country and wants this country to do well, and the youth of this country, and also about their future, for me, should rather focus on giving all the support to this government, and also pray for them so that whatever, all the good things that they have sent in this budget will come to a reality. Because at the end of the day, this will benefit not only us as maybe politicians or member of parliament, but clearly will benefit the whole of Ghana. And I believe that it's a good sign for everybody to follow.
Grateful to you, sir. Dr. Othniel Ekwenu, the Member of Parliament for Ekumfi. You are also watching the Channel One newsroom here on Channel One TV.